All right, here we are live, 4 o'clock sharp. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we're excited to take all your questions. And
happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, right? It's a couple days after Mother's Day. So we want to introduce our next guest.
Clarissa is going to be our guest. She is, to me, she's the definition of a SUPERFIT mom because she has 4 children. She's an NPC competitor, and she's a fitness coach. On top of that, she's vegan, which does take commitment on its own. So I literally can't wait to see how she does it all and how she stays fit and focused. She finds the time to do it. So I guess everybody can, right?
All right. Hey.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good,
awesome,
good.
Awesome.
Nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you. My internet seems to be a bit spotty, so I'm going to apologize for that right away. But I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for reaching out and inviting me. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, absolutely. We were just looking at your page and absolutely stunned at your pull-ups.
Yeah, your pull-ups. Whoa,
like,
whoa. 25 pounds, and the form was like amazing.
I tried.
And those dips. Oh my God, those dips are like.
I'm struggling.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I love it. So, I'm gonna actually take questions, and I'll let you guys go to it.
Yeah, I have asked some questions from our community that everybody's looking forward to hearing your answers on. First, I guess everybody wants to know about your journey to competition. How did you get started? How did you manage to do it? And whether or not you're still in it and competing.
Yes, I am currently in prep right now. The goal is to get back to the national stage, hopefully September, as long as things go as planned. Everything's just so uncertain right now. So yeah, just working hard. When I started competing, I'd been training for about 5 years at that time. And I had really wanted to do a show prior, but I'd gotten into 2 back-to-back car accidents that were pretty bad, and it kind of put a damper on training for a little while. So about 5 years ago, I was standing in the kitchen and I was like, I have to do a show. And so I picked a show. It was the Rocky Mountain up in Colorado. And I went there. I only prepped for about 6 weeks, so it was like super fast. And I ended up placing 5th in Masters, so I was like really happy about it. And I just kept on to build from there, and I just kept competing.
So you were already doing strength training before this?
Yes. Yeah, I've been. I started lifting weights in about 2010, so it's only been about 10 years. At that time, I was like 33. I'd never really been active, and it was a new outlet for me, and I think it really helped me to grow and to change not just my physique, because I was a super tiny person, but it also really helped to change like mentally as well, and just the things that I've been able to accomplish by having more confidence and being stronger, and then just wanting to share that with other women.
But what got you started? It's interesting.
When I started, like I said, I wasn't ever active. I wasn't an athlete in high school. But I had applied for a federal law enforcement job, and I knew that there would be certain physical tests that I would be required to pass. So I started training for that. And I also knew that, being like 106 pounds, I wasn't going to be very scary to the bad guys. So I thought I should be stronger.
Sure. Yeah, because, I feel like everybody has that chance to jump on board. Not everybody, but people come across bodybuilding and strength training. It just depends on you take it on, and then you change your life, and then you're sitting interviewed, or it depends on it was just another conversation. That's why it's always interesting to me how it got started and what really.
Yeah, it was just the change. I fell in love with the change, and I'm still in love with it, apparently.
Yeah. How did you do it with 4 children? That's insane.
That was always a little tricky. Of course, it's always easier when they were going to school, because I would have a little bit of time then. Summers can be a little bit hard, but I'm trying to find a facility that has a daycare Yeah, so finding a fitness facility that had a daycare, we have quite a bit of equipment. You know, I've been kind of building like a garage gym for several years. And so I would use things here, but really utilize their time in school so that I would have a little bit of time to get my workout in, and then the daycare for sure.
So it's interesting that you've been getting home. I've just really started thinking weights and equipment, some sort of equipment, right? Should be a necessity, like a refrigerator, right? But at home, it'll entice you to something.
Mhm.
Is that right?
I think it can work that way for a lot of people, because I train as well. I have clients that I train. And so some people will have equipment at home, but like they will not use it. They need to get themselves out of the house. They need to be around other individuals that are motivated as well. And then their stuff just sits in the garage.
Oh, sure. So there's that end.
Yeah, there is that end.
So you also do trainings. Add a little bit.
So I started personal training in 2012, and I've worked out of several gyms. I transitioned to online training about 6 years ago, and the majority of my clients are online right now anyhow. I do still have a few that I train in person at the gym whenever it opens again. And but it is primarily my goal to move that completely 100% online.
Uh-huh. There's a question that just came in in weightlifting.
Oh, I'm sorry. Which question?
Does age matter in
In weightlifting? As we get older, I mean, obviously we're not going to build muscle as fast as someone that's in their 20s, but it is still possible. And there's such a wide range of health benefits that are available to people that weightlift. I mean, it increases our bone density. It helps with anxiety and depression. It can help bring your blood panel back down into that levels where it makes everybody happy and you're at risk for diseases anymore. So absolutely, I would encourage people that are older to weightlift.
Mm-hmm. There's another question someone just asked: is online
My clients get very, very good results. When you're working with someone online, it's really important to find someone that's going to listen to you. There's a huge tendency with a lot of online coaches to just kind of cookie cutter their programs, and then it's not detailed to the client. It's not detailed to the individual's needs and goals and body type and composition and all of that. So it can be really, really effective. I think if you ask, I really recommend interviewing someone that you're going to be that you are considering training with, and have some good questions for them. Find out if it's going to be a plan like that, or if it's going to be something that's more tailored towards the individual and their goals and their needs.
Mm-hmm. So basically, following a widespread training technique is than a person.
I think that, taking a cookie cutter approach to a fitness plan is going to work. It's going to be like going on a diet, right? But you're going to eventually get to the point where it's not going to work anymore. So maybe it was a really good for someone to get into fitness, but you definitely do need to progress beyond that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Let me see. Veganism. That's a big one. How do you build muscle vegan?
Oh, you just eat. You just eat.
Uh-huh.
I think that making sure, well, obviously that hitting your protein targets is going to be really, really important, right? Or we have no building blocks for our muscles going in. So using like a food tracking app is going to be a really good tool to help you know that you are getting in that amount of protein that you need. We have so many sources that are available to anymore. I mean, tofu is a staple for me. I also use some of the meat substitutes like the Boca burgers and those kind of meat things are in the frozen food section. And those are pretty good. And then, I'm sorry?
There's steak and vegan found out.
We do. I make like a seitan steak. It looks like a steak, but it's made out of seitan, which is the wheat protein. Unfortunately, like if you're gluten intolerant, you're not a source of a protein, and it's a pretty good source. It's pretty high in protein. But then there's like tempeh is another really good source of protein. That cooked in barbecue sauce or teriyaki sauce is like super, super good.
Yeah. Were you always vegan, like weightlifting, or did you also animal protein then?
I had about 4 years where I did eat meat when I first started weightlifting, but other than that, I was vegetarian for a couple of years, and then I switched to being vegan 4 years ago now.
4 years ago, completely. I've been dairy, egg free, and corn for 2 years. But yeah, but started 3 months ago. I'm very new to health, but I've seen like crazy amount of results being on animal protein. However, I was asking my coach, Michael, that I feel so good, I feel better on more of a vegan diet. I feel good and more energetic. I feel animal protein kind of drains down.
Exactly.
Amino acids, you'll build fast muscle mass if you are on animal. So I'm kind of like that right now.
I have a question. What is your thoughts about the Netflix documentary of the vegan? I don't know if you got a chance to watch that.
That one I actually haven't watched. I am terrible at watching TV. I want to work out.
Your hand.
I work online. Yeah. So the last like plant diet promoting series or documentary that I watched was What the Health.
Right,
and
right.
That was a couple of years ago.
And it took like the world's best athletes and put them on a vegan diet, and formed, and everybody was drinking beet juice, myself, and a bunch of stuff. It was a pretty question from somebody. It's a question that's deep in my heart. They said, "You have amazing traps. Like, what workouts do you recommend for traps?"
There, honestly, to be perfectly honest, I don't do a single exercise for my traps. I did shrugs once with the guys when I started working out 10 years ago and had a migraine for 3 days. I never wanted to repeat that experience again. So my traps are entirely genetic. They have to be. I couldn't tell you which side of the family they come from because none of my family works out. So they're there.
They're just there. I guess.
I wish.
What?
I said I actually wish they were a little smaller.
Oh, and is there a way to tone down?
Yeah, I mean, we're careful with the trap exercise. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
Because they can, if you genetics, they can get big really fast. That's what happens. There's a question, what's the difference between whey protein and isolate?
Like isolate whey protein, or are they asking the difference?
Yeah, I don't know.
Isolate is the brand and the in it, right?
No, because there's whey protein, which is an isolated protein, and then there's the casein protein, which is more of a, I forgot the proper word for it. It's more of a complex protein. So an isolated is going to be digested and assimilated faster than the casein protein.
Oh, interesting.
The name of the documentary is called Game Changers, the Netflix one about going vegan.
I didn't watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very intrigued about it. Can't wait until my big period I can actually turn vegan.
Right.
I'm almost halfway there. After going dairy free.
Yeah, without
What is it?
No, you're doing good. If you're doing the dairy free already, I mean, that's a huge battle for a lot of people because it's hard to give up the creaminess of the dairy.
Yeah, and everything that's packaged, almost everything has milk. Yeah.
It has milk. Yeah.
But is dairy, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. There's another question. Key food tip women. So women over 30, right? How would you recommend that they that they construct their, if they're strength training, recommend that how much protein and how or not weigh.
So women over 30 are going to have like a really similar diet requirement to someone that's in their 20s. It's above the 30s that metabolism starts to drop. As far as protein intake goes, I mean, that's calculated from an individual's weight, so it's really hard to say. I've seen women need as little as like 89 grams, and then women need as much as like 175, or even higher, actually, if I think about a couple of my clients, because that requirement for the protein is based off the individual's weight.
Is there some sort of calculation that people?
Yeah. So you would calculate your body weight and then times 0.6 up to times 1.8, and that's where the number is going to fluctuate, is then to pay based on the individual's goal. Like, do they just want to lose weight? Do they exercise at all? Do they have a goal of muscle building, or do they actually have a lot of muscle mass and they're already kind of lean? And then you have that range of protein that you would choose somewhere between that 0.6 and the 1.8. So again,
I've always known the water intake divide your weight and drink that.
Yeah,
but I never have protein intake.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of people sometimes that will eat more than the 1.8 grams of protein. I know men have a slightly higher requirement, but I don't know like how beneficial it is to consume loads of extra protein.
Right. Yeah. But you don't.
Yeah, you wouldn't do.
What is your, since you're a vegan, what is your source of protein?
She was saying tofu.
Who's mine?
Yeah. Change of topic, right? Have you inspired your children, and are they into building a strength training?
Some of them are. My oldest is actually in the process of applying at the police department. I think that I have some videos I put up recently of the workouts we've been doing in the garage. So she's been able to gain a lot of strength. So that's really encouraging. My second daughter has run track a couple years and enjoys that, and she really likes she'll come work out every once in a while. It's not super consistent, but she's only 17. So her favorite lifts though are squats and deadlifts, so that makes me really proud.
Nice. Yeah, hard.
Right? Yeah, the hardest ones. And then my son that's 16, he played football for several years, but after our 5th concussion, we decided we weren't playing football anymore. So he's been running track the last 2 years and really enjoys that. And then my youngest is very big on exercise at all, but he's only 12, so we'll give him some time.
Right. But here's an example of somebody who will definitely make sure her be healthy. Right. Because in today's day and age, it's difficult to be healthy. So why not show them by example, right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
Do it for your children. Hold yourself accountable for them.
Yeah, it helps a lot because you're responsible for them. So you need to be able to show them how to live healthy, not just for right forward with them.
Yeah. Also, you have something, and as a family, you can guide them on nutrition as well.
Right, exactly.
It's so amazing. I love that. Do you have any questions coming in?
They're coming in.
I want to do the rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Okay, I have rapid fire. Like fast 5 questions that you can answer fast. All right. So number 1 is your 3 favorite quarantines that are healthy and.
Oh my gosh, you cut out. My favorite quarantine, what?
3 quarantine snacks that are super healthy and low.
Strawberries and bananas.
That's it.
Yeah, those are my favorites right now.
Perfect. 3 biggest after you went vegan.
3 biggest challenges. I was concerned. I'm sorry.
3 changes
Oh, changes after I went. Well, my digestion, like I'd been plagued by stomach aches like my entire life. So those all went away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was huge plus. That's what I was hoping to achieve. And I definitely slept better. And like I can sleep all the way through the night now, and like mostly like a rock. And then
That's major.
yeah, I know, right? And I would say honestly, my performance in the gym, like
It's
because I felt better, so I definitely performed better.
yeah, yeah, so good. Number 3, favorite Instagram influencer that you follow who have inspired you.
Pauline,
What? Who's that?
Pauline Norden. When I first started lifting, that's who I would watch all the time on Facebook, and I still follow her, and I think she has a ton of good information.
Pauline Norden. We have to follow.
What's up?
Is she also there?
No, she's younger than me, I'm sure.
Oh, okay. But you just like it. And
Yes.
number 4, 3 best things for your skin.
Drink a lot of water, eat a lot of vegetables, and find a really good skincare line and stick with it. I know, like as women, we have a tendency to want to try this and try that, and find something that works and use that in for sunscreen.
What do you use?
I have been searching and searching. Right now, my absolute favorite is it's a company that is online only, so it's a smaller business. It's called City Beauty, and I've noticed the hugest change in my skin since using that.
Wow.
I don't think I will ever go back to anything else.
Are they vegan?
I don't know. I have put several emails into the company to ask, and it doesn't say. The products are labeled cruelty-free, so that kind of is a good thing, right?
So what?
So it's good that they're labeled cruelty-free, but no, I don't know if they're. I'm hoping to hear back from them sometime soon.
Yeah, I just wanted to repeat the link for anybody. Out.
Okay.
City.com, I'm assuming, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. I recently found Beauty by Count, cruelty-free or vegan, and I also like a foundation and makeup line. I'll switch to City Beauty.
Okay.
We'll try. And the last one is favorite ab exercises.
I hate ab exercises. No, I do. It's like such a burning feeling. I guess if I had to pick one, it would be like the hanging leg lifts. Those hard
Today.
Good. Yeah. It's better than crunches.
I know why it's her favorite, because she's got a strong upper body. It's like nothing, just, you know.
Sure. Well, and it's a stretch.
Yes, it's a great stretch for sure. That's coming in, huh?
No.
I had another question. Some weight training for 30 and over women. Like what exercises?
They honestly, I recommend for them to do the compound lifts, all the things that are strong, the deadlift, the squat, the hip thrust, and then the upper body is always the pull downs. Not many women come to me and are able to do a pull up right away, but working pull downs and working your way up to the pull ups, and then bench press, of course.
Yeah, that's great. How can people find any exercise from you if they have exercises that are shown on your page, advice from your page?
Have some. I try to put up some information posts from time to time. I also have a YouTube channel I'm working on redoing. It does have individual exercises on it, and I wanted to be able to provide people with better detailed videos and explanations in those. So I've been working on that. People, I hope, can find advice there. If I do a cooking video or just a talking video, I will always put those on YouTube too.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. And protein filled, that would be amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that protein is the most important thing. But like I said, if you use an app to track it, it's not that hard.
Uh-huh. You know, you talked about your, and I didn't get a chance to touch on them. They were 2 accidents back to back and
Oh
injury
my God.
back from
Yeah.
it.
I did injure my back pretty bad. I ended up with a very severe concussion from the last one. And then I had, I think it was L5 that was fractured. And then the rest of the lumbar spine, so 1 through 6, are all bulging discs now. And so I wasn't able to train lower body for I think it was close to 2 years.
Wow.
I just could do body weight things. So now we play catch up on the legs so that they can match the upper body.
Yeah, your upper body's incredible.
Oh, thank you.
But
Training.
with 2 accidents, 4 children, basically a lot of days, you know, working that you could pushing yourself. What is your rate for what pushes you?
I think that I just have a very, well, I'm in love with the weightlifting. Like, I'm absolutely in love with that. But I have this very strong personal desire to succeed. And so then, I mean, of course, it's going to transfer over into what I want to accomplish with my physique. But that's something I can carry over into my business and my personal life too. So yes, I just really, I can't stand the thought of being a failure. So that's my personal motivation.
So on day-to-day basis, you have to get in a gym. You just on it.
Yes, for the most part, I am. I mean, you know, we have days where we get tired and your body's like, okay, that's enough of beating me up. And so those days are harder. Sometimes your body just feels tired and you don't want to work out. But that's when first you have to really listen, because sometimes your body is telling you that you need, like, just give me a day and I'll be okay. Other times when it's that just the motivation is gone, I have these habits that I've worked on for the last 10 years that you just go, you do your work, you do what you're supposed to do, and then you can go do something else.